Quiet, please. Right, we've got a good result today, so we can all smile. Since there's no loss of people, but it's coming to the race. So, we promised this for a few weeks now. Our gaffer, Craig Elliott, question and answers, keep them simple. If they get controversial, I'll stop it. Okay, so let's not be silly, and I'm sure I'll answer all these questions. So, first question, anybody there?
Why is Guinness £5.40?
I can't answer that one, sorry. That's the price of Guinness, it's £12 in Dublin. That was an easy one. Anybody else? Come on, let's get some questions. We have enough people more than me through the year. Yes, Peter?
How many first team players does that academy actually have?
What's the question, sorry? How many
first team players do you have? Manager.
Well, at the minute I'm probably working off a squad of 19, but that does include loan players, obviously. The reason why we have to include loan players is obviously due to budget reasons as well. Obviously, we have a lot of contact between myself and the management. So, all clubs I've been at, you have to sort of incorporate the loan players, but at the minute, we're probably working off a 19-man squad. We've been having sort of, probably up to maybe 21 training and a couple of academy players training with us, but every match day is probably about 19 man squad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You've signed extended to your contract. I just wondered when they spoke to you if they give you the correct vision or you saw some big future here.
Yeah, I mean, I think they offered me, they wanted to talk about a new contract back in November, December, but I wanted to make sure that everything that was in place for me to be able to progress the club. I think from my side of things, I'm always proud of that every single club I've been at, I've left in a better position than when I've sort of taken over. And I want to be able to do that at this club, so it was important to me that I looked at everything, both on and off the pitch, spoke to as many different people as I could, judged people with my own eyes. Obviously, coming into a club, lots of people give me opinions and, you know, of different people, how the club's run, but I try and sort of judge people as I find them, and that's why I want to make sure that everything were right, really. I spoke to Tom and told him what I think's needed in terms of on the pitch, and he told me the vision of the club, what's happening behind the scenes, and how they're trying to grow it and get the club facing in the right direction again. And around New Year, obviously I just asked for a few more weeks to sort of wake things up, and that wasn't because I'm trying to in any way look over opportunities. Like I said, I want to make sure that I can do my job and guarantee sort of what I have to the club, really, and that's why I signed the contract, because I'm happy with everything that I've been told, and I feel confident that this club will be left, the day I leave, will be left in a far better position than when I took over.
What you call a better place than we are in now?
Well, I think you look at it over a consistent period, and the club's obviously had back-to-back relegations and fighting relegations. I were a manager at Boston United when the club were in the National North playoffs, so I know what potential it's got. To get back there is going to take a lot of hard work, but I can see that potential there. I think taking over, the club wanted a great place on the pitch. You know, I think obviously to be struggling in this league and then back-to-back relegations, we had to stop the rot, which we did. You know, things don't change quickly and take time, take consistency, and I think now is about. My aim is to bring in a group of players that give you the spine of the team that fans can sort of associate with, and they can be here for 2-3 years. I think that's the big thing. There's been too many turnover of players, so fans just see players come and go. like I just said, loan players. So you need a nucleus of players that you can see as part of your club. You're always going to get new players, but I think the amount of players that have gone through in the last sort of 3-4 years has been too many in my opinion. So I want to try and the planning starts now for next year where we get a spine of players that the fans like really and they sort of see as one of their own, and then we can sort of add to that and get consistent results. It's not always going to be plain sailing, you're not going to win every week. I think, I don't know, you're going to maybe disagree with this, but I think it was important to go back period a few weeks ago. I like to see how people react, I like to see how players react, staff around the place, supporters, pick up on the energy, what people are like, and I did that. Because I do know one thing, anything that's achieved is you need bad periods, you need to go through them moments, and there's one thing we need to do as a club is pull together when that happens. If we want to win leagues and promotions, we're going to all have to sort of, when things are not going well, pull together, and that's important.
So what's Gareth's vision then?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, I mean, I've had a few meetings with Gareth. To be fair, what I have enjoyed is that he's given me free licence on the pitch to the extent he's tell me what the budget is, what I can use, what I can't use, and what it'll be for the future, and let me get on with what I do really. I mean, obviously Tom deals with a lot of things off the pitch and gives me ideas of what's going on, and it sounds all exciting, but I'll be totally straight with you in terms of owners and people around the club. That's not for me to sort of interfere too much. I'll be judged on what happens on the pitch, and I want to be judged on that, and I just want to make sure I've got the tools to do that. And to be fair to him, he's given me all the answers that I needed to be able to have the tools to end of the day take the credit, blame, whatever it is, you know, to progress the club on the pitch, because at the end of the day I think that's the job of the manager, really, the first team manager. I don't want to get involved in any sort of politics behind this pitch and things like that. No, I just mean in the sense of things that happen off the pitch and things. I think that's not my responsibility.
There's a lot of talk about the academy and that. I just wondered if any of those players will be through in the near future.
Yeah, I mean,
we're trying to, breed someone and get them in the first team and then maybe sell someone, etc. I just wondered how far or how close you are with the players.
Yeah, there's we've had academy players training with us this year. I think from my point of view, I don't get a chance, and every players training with us will continue to have that. The academy players will train with us on a regular basis, probably more in pre-season. I like to just have an handful of ones that are good enough really during the weeks. I think it's unfair, not only on them, but the first team lads have got to be good enough. You know, I'm a big believer in that. I won't just do it for the sake of it, just to tick a box and make everybody happy and say, oh, we have 9 academy players training and we give 5 debuts to 5 academy players. They've got to be good enough, you know, and I think that if they are good enough, they'll get the chance, and that's important really. And you've seen that already, obviously, with Miles today. Unbelievable talent. I think he's a clear example of the pathway that if you are good enough, the opportunities there. Along with a few others, you know, that can train with us and develop their own. Because it's about making sure that you don't kill their aspirations and ambitions really, that the jump's too much too soon really. But yeah, there's definitely a close link. It's fantastic really, the talent that we have got really at the club. We should be very proud of that. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously I think, no, look, there's, obviously I'm not going to get into sort of private discussions as such, but now that I know things are starting next season, the discussions are starting with the players that I think will be able to progress this club and benefit us moving forward, and I don't mind saying I think he's a fantastic talent really, and it's just a matter of getting games out of him, and as you see today, I think that's his first game with the trot. I think last week was his first full game in over a year, so as long as we can get him on the pitch, he'll be a massive asset to this club.
Why do you think we had that big dip in form a few weeks ago when we're all buzzing, we all loved it, and then all of a sudden confidence is there? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you just, you know, they're really confidence. Players are only human, you know. They don't mean to play bad or lose matches like I don't. I think the game at Eton Stannington was poor, really poor. I don't mind saying that, probably one of the worst performances I've seen from one of our teams. It took a lot of red wine to get to sleep that night, I'm not going to lie. But I think it knocked the lads' confidence, you know, and then I watched the games after that, and I think sometimes you can try too hard as a player. I think that individuals were trying to win the game because we're at the goal down. I think it was a concert down here, and you try and do too much and open it up, and you actually make it worse by doing that. I think the Garfield game was my fault. I got the tactics wrong, the team wrong. But since then, we've all sort of looked at each other, sorted it out, and I think in the last 2 games we've been a lot more structured, harder to beat. If I'm looking for a little excuse, I think we've missed some key players that have really wobbled us at the back. You know, there's 2 full-backs who are probably as good as anybody in the league, and that's no insult to the lads that are playing there now, but they just work. But, you know, I think they're a really great group of lads, to be honest with you. They're very honest, they train ever so hard, and like I said, they give everything in every game. I don't think from the games I watched, it's not through lack of effort. You know, it's just sometimes you have no confidence, and sometimes you've got to give opposition some credit. I think some of them games the opposition did play well. But yeah, hopefully that's behind us now. And like I said as well, it's important that everybody tries to stick together through the hard times, because I'll tell you now for a fact there'll be hard time next year. There will. There'll be moments where we lose a couple of games or don't play well, and the key is always how quickly as a club you come out of that period.
We only lose a couple next year, I think we're all
Is what, sorry?
You mentioned it all back. What position is Kareem?
Yeah, it's been really unfortunate with Kareem. Obviously, we knew what the injury problem was just before Christmas. Obviously, the consultant said that he wanted to rest it and do these strengthening exercises, and before he come out of that, over an 8-week period, we got to the end of that, and they found out obviously there was still a bit of problem in his ligaments. So he's now been told he needs an operation, so he will definitely be out for the rest of the season, and now he's currently waiting for a date to have an operation. It's a shame because when we found it, it's probably been back now. So that's through no fault of anybody at this club. Obviously, the person he saw gave him that advice, and it's just one of them. It's just very unfortunate, and mainly for him really, because he's a fantastic player, a fantastic lad. Yeah. I mean, obviously with Dan, that one well. Yeah, that one come really on me really. He was like, next week I'm off to Germany, and I'm like, so. But you wish him well. Again, another fantastic lad. He's got a career opportunity to go work in Germany, and you can do nothing but wish him the best, but obviously it just sort of kills a little bit at that time.
Dropped off after he went.
But I think, sorry, you think we're going by more today?
I think should have won by more. Yeah, I do, but I think obviously, like I said, I thought as front 5 today were really good. You know, I thought they created lots of chances, they were a threat, and on another day we probably could have scored 4 or 5 goals. But the lads are still coming through a process of building that confidence, and I think obviously we conceded the goal, and then you go into a bit of protection mode because they know that they want to win the game. And like I said, confidence is everything in football, and I won't really too bothered how we won today. We just needed to win the game, and they've done that, so I can't give anything but credit to better players.
Yeah, just thought we, even though they have a lot of the ball, we create loads and loads of chances. And, you know.
Yeah, I mean.
A bit of luck.
Yeah, I mean that was through me really. Obviously, we wanted them to have a lot of the ball because we just felt like obviously them being on ball, they sort of they made the wrong choice. They could counter attack them a little bit, which worked sometimes. But obviously, they had a bit more too much for the ball in the last 20 minutes than probably wanted them to. But like I said, today when you've been on a run like we've been on, it's purely about just trying to win a game. We know the last 2 home matches have not been good enough, and like I said, players deserve a lot of credit for pulling out a win today.
Yeah, definitely.
What sort of relationship do you want from us as well as the leadership of our club?
Yeah.
Sorry.
What sort of leadership do you want from us as well as that guy stood at the back of you?
Yeah, I just think the relationship I want us all to have really is that we're just, you've got to understand that the players, myself, we're all working as hard as we can to get you a club and a team that you're proud of, you know, so I think it's about trying to just stick with us through the little blips that we do have, you know. I'm not saying to not have your opinion, because that's why we all love football, we've all got different opinions, you pay your hard-earned money to come and support the club, so I fully respect that, you know, you can have opinions, but I think as a club we really need to stick together and back each other, and like I said, I think create that positive energy from off the pitch and on the pitch. I can only see good things happening in the future, to be honest with you. That's why I'm here. I don't mess about really most clubs. It's about trying to create a successful team. I'll push the players as much as I can. I get my enjoyment out of winning, so I'll be doing everything I can, and all the players will. And just for the fans, just try and support us as much as you can next year. We want to try and get an atmosphere over and away where it grows and we can keep pushing, and like I won't hide behind it. Next year is about trying to get promoted, and we need the fans with us to do that. You know, I look at the other teams that are up near the top, they're getting a good fan base, it's growing, and I want ours to next year as well. I know it's sometimes a bit hard to get a bit of an atmosphere here. I get that with the running track and things, but get as many fans as we can away from home and really grow it. And like I said, I want this to be a really good period for us all, to be honest with you. I'm in football to have them memories and them experiences, and hopefully the next few years that we can create that.
Do you have any particularly attractive players here? Or just what the positives, what you try and sell when you're trying to attract players here?
I think initially I'll be honest, we're hard attracting players in the sense of that I think the club were looked on as a losing club, you know, that was spiraling down the non-pyramid, you know, and losing a lot of games. So you've got to try and convince players that actually we're going in the right direction now, and that's why I said the most important thing was to stop the rot and then just try and raise expectations, which we're trying to do. You know, I'll always talk about winning and promotion, and that's how I try and do with the players really. So we're going in the right direction now, and we'll do our best to attract as many good players as we can. It's not easy. There's a lot of local teams as well around us now fighting for the same players. But yeah, I'm just trying to sell it from the point of view that, you know, with this club's on its open, it's a good period to be part of it.
Why does it appear that we seem to concede goals before half time or before full time? We need a goalkeeper.
No, I think that's a bit unfair, to be honest with you. I think other than 3 weeks ago, I think we had the third best defence in the league. So I think you've got a fair point in terms of the last 3 weeks, but before, I think 5 or 6 games ago, we were the third best defence in the league, so we were quite solid. And like I've already mentioned before, we've had too many goalkeepers this year. We've had to change the back four, and they're not excuses, they're facts. And through experience, the good teams that I've had have consistency in the back four and the goalkeeper. That's where you get your base from to go and win games of football. And like I said, it's no insult to the lads that have been playing, but you need to use the partnerships and get that consistency. I think the fans that were here, maybe the first couple of months when I was here, you could see that we very rarely changed the back four and keeper. And the results of the lack of goals, lack of conceding goals, you could see.
What's been your highlight, Craig, at season so far?
I think it's hard because you're coming in like after it, and it's we were slowly trying to progress it, and I think obviously as yet it's just been about hard work and, like I said, just trying to stop the rot. I hope the highlights are to come, to be honest with you, in terms of pushing for promotions and things like that. But yeah, I think at the minute it's not been about that really, about, like I said, experiences in big games as such. Because ultimately we've not been close enough to have them big games yet. I think that's one of the things that I have been disappointed with. I'd like to have been 6-7 points nearer to create that bit more excitement. I'm not going to lie, before the end of the season, but football's cruel sometimes and you've got to accept it, and ultimately we're probably going to come up short. And league tables, in my opinion, never lie. You know, I hear people say, oh, we're good enough to do that. The league table is exactly where you should be, and I think, to be honest with you, as a club, I think we're 8th or 9th now. 10th, sorry, yeah. But that's probably about right for the season. The league table's over the course of the season, it's not just a short period in time, and I always big believer that a league table never lies. The team that wins deserves to win at the end of the season. The team that goes down deserves to go down. So yeah, at the minute we're 10th, and that's where it is.
No surrender. Potential other than your way. You know this with the matches that's coming up.
It's what?
You can bugger the old league.
It takes a lot to get a smile on your face, I'll be honest with you. No, look, like I've just said, I think the big thing for us to end the season is just try and get a bunch of lads that enjoy the rest of the season. We have some good performances that you can be proud of to see through to the end of the season and see what it takes. You know, as we see now, we can still reach the playoffs and we'll keep fighting. I'll always do that, that's what's inside me. I'll always keep fighting to win games and finish as high as I can. And also the hard work in terms of trying to secure the players that we want to secure for next season.
Is there an opportunity to use these remaining fixtures? Chance, or is it something you have to do in the pre-season?
Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful to games, to be honest with you. I think my mindset will always be to win games of football. I don't really like to sort of go into it and use it as an experiment. I'll be totally honest with that. It's not like just throwing people in and seeing how to play. But I get where you're coming from, you know, it's probably a good example. I think the big thing that I am going to use it as is to be looking at teams like Cleethorpes in the next few weeks and teams up there that what does they look like, what does it feel like to be a team that's competing to win this league, you know, and learning off them a bit, because what I will say is I've been lucky to manage in 7 different leagues from low to high. You've got to adjust to each league, you've got to assign players according to that level, and there's no disrespect to this level, but there's some absolute difficult away games that you have to adjust differently to, say, playing at home. And that's going to be the key, and that's probably why you Cleethorpes to win that league. They've been able to adjust to them fixtures, and I think that's what I will be using the games to, is to look at other players, look at our players in terms of ones that we think can help us next year achieve what we want to achieve.
Right then, gentlemen, just to go on with that now, I think we've got the best manager in the league.
Yeah.
In any league. I've been around football a long time. We've got the right guy, it took a long time before we go through, when Danny didn't work out, but I can assure you, in my opinion, we've got the best manager who'll push us forward as far as we can go. It was unfortunately came in later on when things weren't going right at the beginning of the season. You have to put that right first of all. He did that, and as he said, you get a blips in football, but also sometimes you've got to work your way out of that. And he's got the experience to do that. Behind the scenes, from the commercial side, we're doing very, very well. We're getting money in now, we're getting more strength than relying on Gareth all the time, and we'll continue to do that. And there's things happening, I can't say anything about it yet because it's haven't been fulfilled, but there's things happening round the ground. You'll be very surprised in the next probably 2 months or so. So keep. So stay with us, and I'm sure at the end of the season we won't be very far away. But next season I think we'll go up there. So thanks very much everybody for coming, and thanks Craig. Thank you.